Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York. Today's scene will come probably a couple hours in the wake of that delightful 5 a.m. muster that Olaf decided that the Cubbies needed today, regardless of it being the weekend, because he's a saint. I mean, he cares. That's why he hurts them. We hurt the ones we love. Let me love you. So as a result, the Cubs have been put through training to probably an extreme to make an impression on the newest among them, and afterwards have gone their separate ways, gotten their showers and whatnot, done whatever little bit of morning nonsense they need to do, maybe actually eating after that ridiculous workout. And in the wake of that, Maeve would be waiting outside the girls' cabin, probably rapping on one of the windows to call Senna out.
Sina will actually open the kitchen window. Just the moment coffee's almost done. I take it you want some?
You're a saint.
I,
Please.
I have a second thermos flask if you need.
That would be amazing. I can't go in to get it, so...
Just give me a moment.
Yes! She does a little fist pump for victory.
Sina will close the window again to at least keep the rest of the cups from freezing to death. And then after a few minutes, we'll walk out cabin, carrying 2 thermo flasks, handing one over to Maeve. Here you go.
Oh, Maeve is delighted. She accepts it with a broad smile and very eagerly, and holds it in her hands because it is toasty warm. And she'll jerk her nose in the direction of Olaf's cabin.
Yeah, I guess it's best to ask, right?
Yep. Worst he can do is not know? Shrug.
Yeah, I guess. I don't want to be irresponsible by bringing you along and not really making sure that I can guarantee your safety.
Of course.
So, let's go.
Noddle, noddle. And so she'll start tromping over that way. And probably give him the same treatment, because if he's got a covered porch, well, there's no precipitation right now, so she'll go ahead and hop up on the porch since it doesn't really provide her shelter from anything, and give a rap on the door.
He gets there eventually. He opens the door and, seeing who it is, goes and gets his coat. Once he has that and a cigarette and a mug of what you assume is coffee, he ends up sitting on his porch. What's up?
Maybe we'll probably plop down on the stairs while he's getting settled and just kind of sit on the top stair. And kind of glance at Cinna to see if she wants to take the lead on that, since this is all her.
Well, Sina will, she'll kind of stand behind Maeve. She seems to be a bit nervous, and so she doesn't sit down, but if Maeve wants to, she can lean into Sina for some extra warmth. Sina's drumming with her fingers on her leg, and then, well, Oliver, I've asked Maeve if she wants to come along to England with me. Well, she's willing, but I know that I cannot. I'm not an adult yet, so I can't be a proper guardian for her.
You bringing anybody else with you?
I've asked Emmett as well.
Okay, so if you get caught by the authorities, and he points at Cinna, you're pretty much fucked.
Blink.
Yeah.
Alright, that's established. Meanwhile, And he looks at Mabe. I'm gonna take it that you lot are gonna do something silly like just enter a country, yes? I mean, you
Maeve
can't go by
shrugs.
airplane. You can't go by any official travel or this one. And he motions towards it now. We'll get snapped up in about 30 seconds.
Moonbridge?
Indeed. This means that the two of you are going to be entering a modern country completely illegally and will be foreigners in a modern country completely illegally.
Not
Do you think
entirely.
the SEP there won't have glasswalkers or someone who can provide us with proper documentation?
I don't know if they'll have a motivation to do so.
I have a United Kingdom passport. I am a stranger here, not there.
Yeah, Maeve kind of glances between the two of them and kind of makes a point of like picking up a couple strands of her ridiculously bright orange hair and kind of looks up at him. I'm pretty sure we can pass. Besides, the native tribes there are people. You don't think they'd take care of us?
I don't know. I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying that you'll be strangers to them as well, perhaps not in tribe, but as you yourselves. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's any guarantee of anything once you get down there.
Yeah, she nods. Well,
Does anybody you're planning on visiting even know you're coming?
I've asked Miss Whisper for some contacts that she might have in the area. I can notify my
sure.
parents. I haven't done this yet, but they hold, as far as I know, no ties to the nation.
I'm sure if Chase is planning to provide us a moon bridge that he will send word ahead of us that we're coming.
Don't be sure, make sure.
I will. Well, who else would you recommend us take with us? I mean, I'd want Garrett, but if we're going into a bunch of Silverfangs, that kind of seems like a bad idea, but he's the person I'd trust the most to say the right things as needed.
Do not take Garrett. Shadow Lord and Silverfang. Bad relations.
Shadow Lords in the Sept have bad relations, and he's still well-known and well-liked.
You're going to a different place.
Yeah.
More traditional.
Hmm. Well, then who do you think's a good idea?
Honestly, if there were any other Silverfang that could go, I'd suggest it. A lot of people come to this place raised up in different septs that are more in line with how traditional tribal behaviors are. But should that not be an option, you're going to at least need the conventional side of things taken care of. Emmett's not a bad choice.
What, Emmett?
Emmett, maybe Aaron.
She'll quirk her brows a bit in thought.
I've asked Emmett. I've not asked Aaron. I don't know him that well, but I can if you think it's the best option.
I actually don't know him very well either.
Children of Cockroach, they, as a tribe, very in line with the modern, especially the aspects of high modernity. At the very least, they can help keep some of the more mundane problems you're going to encounter off of your backs. Now, I don't suggest you take every single glasswalker with you. We need at least one around here at any given time.
Yeah.
Well, that gives us two to pick from to take with us in case one of them's not free, but we still thought you would want us to have a second adult.
I'm thinking about Travis, but I kind of Yes, that his duties will keep him here.
Hmm. He is warm full. He needs to be on hand.
Yeah.
The problem you two are looking at is pretty simple. You need to bring muscle in case something goes wrong, but this sept needs more muscle than it has. Now, as for the other aspects of your journey, I'm saying right now you're going to need a glasswalker because, well, a guru in the hands of authorities is not something that can be allowed to happen. And the way you're going to be running this town, the authorities are going to be a problem. But then again, this
Well, I
is
mean,
your rite of passage as Ragabash.
Yes.
getting away with it's part of it, I guess.
Indeed.
Sorry about
But I was allowed to ask for assistance.
As is normal.
I can use assistance in the form of advice. I've never had to deal with not being able to return to my homeland.
Hmm. You're gonna want to stick to back ways most people aren't. The more public you make yourself, especially the more known you are, the higher the likelihood you're gonna get jammed up by somebody you don't want to be jammed up by.
Man,
Now, my suggestion to you, once you make landfall, is that you get in good with the local sept immediately. For one, it's a matter of courtesy. I know I would about half lose my mind if some guru hadn't even introduced themselves and ran around making trouble.
yeah.
The other is that once you've introduced yourself and spoken to the right folk, they know the area better than you do.
I doubt that.
So be it, but that's my advice.
They know the area better from their point of view, but I grew up in the surroundings of York. I've been roaming my home grounds for, well, 17 years or so. I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I know my way around there. That's not the issue.
Aye, but do you know the right of the questing stone?
I do.
Can you scent the true form?
No.
You know York as a Homid would know York.
Yes.
They know York as a guru would know York. Given what you're looking for, you're going to need to be looking like a guru.
I still hope to be able to approach the adoption agencies as well, but not a,
Well, worst comes to worst, one of the glasswalkers can probably check the records for us if we have problems.
I know we've checked it when I was younger with my parents, but they are no computer experts like Emmett or Aaron are.
Hmm.
No.
Everything in the mundane world runs on these computer machines these days.
Mhm.
Part of why I suggest enlisting the help of glasswalkers. Part of being Ragabash is being a good scout. Finding things, even when they're hard to find. I believe That is part of why your rite of passage is the way it is. You're going to have to do some looking, and you're going to have to do some looking in a place that for you right now, even if it's your home, is inherently hostile territory.
Yeah, I can't walk up to a desk that easy.
The main problem you're going to run into is knowing when you can handle things directly and when you got to delegate and who to delegate to.
That's why I'm asking Maeve to accompany me. She has more knowledge and has had more dealings with the spirits. I figured they might be a part of the solution, but I can't even talk to them. I tried once to connect with Chimera through Pictionary.
Mayhap.
That was only half effective.
Okay. Make your introductions to the local sept. See if there's anybody you can reach out to. After that, you're going to be hunting on your own. How you go about that is going to have a lot more to do with the circumstance than any generalities I could tell you sitting here.
You know, if we're going to be over there anyways, maybe we'll take up kind of a not so much an earnest, thoughtful look as like a playfully thoughtful look. I mean, from there, my uncle's court is probably only so far. And you told me before that one of your people was there. Which you might know.
I don't know exactly, but there are rumors that apparently the queen of my house might be there, but I've only heard this from, I've heard this from Gerard, but he wasn't sure, so I cannot be sure.
It means that while you're trying one angle, I can be trying to set everything we need for that angle if the first attempt doesn't come out so well.
I would take a certain amount of pause before I went petitioning kings and queens.
I wasn't going to petition my uncle. I was going to see if I could get in contact with someone there.
Mib, you're a MacPheon. The second you show up, you're going to be elbows deep in politics.
She makes a frowny face. The little, like, meh frowny face.
I think if we really want to go there, we would have to request an audience, like, right now, and preferably last week. If we want to. I mean...
Well, I promised I'd try to get you in touch with her. Back when you were a kid.
Before you try to reach out to the Arderai, I'd suggest talking to Chases the Storm, Raya.
Of course.
Well, you've gotten a Philodox's advice. Respect the territory of others. There are many, many times when Guru, caught up in whatever quest they happen to be undertaking, forget courtesy. And that leads to all kinds of trouble.
Never been very well with courtesy, but I'll try.
You are when you want to. That's why I'm just saying this instead of lecturing you on etiquette. I'm sensing that this is going to be one of the times when you want to.
Yeah.
Now, before you go, there's only two guru in this sept that I'm personally acquainted with that know how to scent the true form. One's me, the other's Ren Brennan.
Hmm.
Considering what my pack's currently dealing with, my suggestion to you is that you find a way to make talons that can replicate that.
What spirit teaches the gift?
Dun 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 dun. You force Bob to look it up.
I like that comes with a song and dance number.
Banana.
Oh, Lordy. It's a vulture spirit.
My memory. Vulture spirits are what you're going to be looking for, though as always I suggest you make audience with some sort of theurge. I'm not a dealer of spirit things.
I was planning to ask Tori on advice anyway. He knows a lot about ancestors and stuff like that, so.
Maybe wrinkles her nose a bit, but starts looking thoughtful.
He's a wise and powerful theurge.
And the other one I know is Mama L, and, well, I think she would be not so happy if I would not ask others first.
Yep, there's also Lily. There's also, Miss Whisper.
Lots and lots of people for you to be asking. Olaf pulls out his phone when it goes off and kind of peers at it. Ah, boy. Are there any other questions that you two need to be asking me?
Who would you trust? If it wasn't one from your pack, as you said your pack is busy, who would you trust?
My sister.
I'm just gonna
Don't even know her.
make a little roll here. Okay, Maeve keeps a straight face.
You mean to bring along, yes?
Yeah.
Ah. Who would I trust on a diplomatic mission? Ain't that the rub of it? Two of the best politicking types I know are Shadow Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I figured that much.
Interesting prospect. Normally, in times like this, I would call my cousin, ask him for advice. He is also a very good politician, but as it is currently, I don't know where across this big wide globe he happens to be, or if he's even in somewhere within cell phone range. I tell you what, I'll call him see what he knows about the seps in England. I doubt he'll be able to come down personally, but at the very least he's a knowledgeable guru.
Austin has whispered the same thing. Information on the people there, on certain etiquette that might be used there that is not being used here, things like that.
Noddle,
Indeed.
noddle.
Every sep's different.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, when it comes down to it, keep your party as small as possible.
I don't want to bring more than 3 others along.
Hmm.
Emmett being one of them, Maeve being the other, that leaves room for one more, if necessary.
If necessary. That last choice, I'm afraid that's going to be on you. I can't say one way or the other for a mission like this.
Okay.
Besides, it's not always about who I trust. It's going to be about who you trust.
Yeah.
You're the one taking lead on this. Now, if that's all, I believe you two have a lot of people to talk to in very short order.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we'll give a firm little nod and stand herself up.
Thank you, Raya.
It's my job. And he gets up and goes about to make his way on his day.
Yeah, maybe we'll actually look over to Senna and kind of jerk her head off, in that wild direction, be like, hey, I bet you we can catch Garrett, too.
Well, if he can't come along, at least he can provide some, well, advice. I would like to have him along, though.
If nothing else, at least he's good for advice, yeah.
Maybe I'll say fuck you to whoever has a problem with it and move him along anyway.
Yeah, the worst. I mean, even if he can't, come into whatever big, crazy courtly stuff, he could still be there and keeping an eye out.
At the worst, there is you and there is me when it comes to cookies that will dangle in front of everybody.
Noddle.
Who is tactful, and Garrett is tactful as well. He will know when to talk and when to shut up.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's go get him.
Yeah.
And so Maeve will take off, that away, wherever that away is. She probably has the vaguest idea of where Garrett is here and there during the day. Hell, he might even be right over there on the rock. We'll figure it out in a second.
Or chessboard.
Or the chessboards. This is true. So as the two of them toddle off with their delightful coffees, I will say thank you, player, for playing. Thank you, creepers. I saw you. There was 4 of you. Thank you, creepers, for creeping. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Living World of Darkness, Rage Across New York.